Welcome back to another episode of the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast. Corey, Jason, John, Pauline, Dylan, Mel. Boys, the year's almost over. The off season still cooking. The stove is still hot.
Cooking.
Simmering.
Yeah, stoves on a simmer. Hot is very generous.
It's like a slow cooker.
Yeah, something.
At the end, it's going to be a nice, delicious meal, but it's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, invite the Yankees.
Some teams are going to get scraps.
Some teams openly only want scraps.
It's some new type of diet to cut the fat around the budget.
Yeah, something like that.
But as we, spoke last week about what was going on, a couple guys got moved around. Some signings, some trades, more than a couple trades. First one I want to bring up is Michael King, re-signed with the Padres. Now, we spoke about him last week, John. I had him going to Baltimore. You had him going to the Yankees. We were both wrong.
Baltimore.
They needed pitching. I figured if it wasn't going to be the Yankees or Boston, where else? And I did not think San Diego. He signed 3 years, $75 million with an opt-out after each season to retest the market. I would have given him this deal if I was the Yankees. I think just about every team would have given him this type of contract. Short-term, low commitment.
I think it's also possible that this is a deal that King only would have taken from the Padres. Yeah, I don't really like what my market is. I'll take the guaranteed money in case I get hurt. But you know what? To not move, give me $20+ million. I'll come back here for another year, live in beautiful San Diego, California, be on a contending team, and I'll shove, and then I'll get more money next offseason, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's most likely what he was thinking, although Boston, New York is kind of where he and his wife are from and live and work in the offseason.
I mean, if it's just about living, San Diego clears.
I do think he still lives in New York in the offseason.
Well,
so
odd then.
Odd, but he gets to stay there with a staff and a coaching staff that knows him. Doesn't have to relearn communications with the catchers, the bullpen coach, the pitching coach. He's comfortable there. Like you said, reset the market next year if he has a good year. If he doesn't, stay one more year, try it again. Still young. I like this move for San Diego, and I don't think it's a terrible move for King either.
No, again, I talked about it a second ago, but a contending team.
Yeah.
The Padres are, we've joked and talked about Tatis and Machado trades, but this is a team that going into the playoffs last year, I think we all thought could feasibly win a World Series. Now, obviously, they lost to the Cubs in the first round, and they just didn't have it, but a couple moves around the edges, and this team, I think, could easily go on a run. And with the power that they have in Machado and Merrill and Tatis, the lineup could get hot at the right time. And with their pitching staff, go on a run. Absolutely. So makes sense to me.
Next one up, we have one of the very many trades we've had accumulated over the last week. First one's going to be Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, and Houston in a 3-team trade. Houston gets right-hander Mike Burrows. Tampa gets Jacob Melton, an outfielder, who's now their 4th overall prospect. And they also get right-handed pitcher Anderson Brito, who's now their 6th overall prospect. The Pirates are the big major league talent getters in this trade. They get second baseman Brandon Lowe, outfielder Jake Mangum, and lefty Mason Montgomery. So this begs the question, what are the Pirates doing?
They're competing.
Can you say that base next time?
They're clearly showing their fan base how invested they are in making a good team. They're clearly showing Paul Skeens how they tried to get Schwarber. He didn't want to go there. They tried to spend in free agency, and now they spent up in the trade market and got one of the highest priced second basemen out there, Brandon Lowe. There's not a more premier second base switch hitting, awesome hitter on the market right now in Arizona. That doesn't exist. So this team had to put all their chips in on Brandon Lowe.
It's just so weird. I don't think they care about throwing this to their fan base. This is all about, hey, Skeens, when we lowball you an offer next offseason, just know that we're still trying to build around you. So maybe you should try to become a Pittsburgh hero and take that lesser offer and stay.
Yeah.
10 years, $100 million is still $100 million. So
yeah, Skeens. Like, I know your girlfriend bought an apartment in New York and you've dreamed about being a Yankee your whole life. Stay in Pittsburgh.
I always find it interesting with 3-team trades how like you get that third team involved. Like this was clearly Pittsburgh and Tampa talking, and they're like, "All right, who else can we get in here to get this over the deal? Houston, you want to help us make a trade?" Like Houston goes, "Sure." Like I just don't understand how
Mike Burrows will somehow be the most valuable member of this trade.
Yeah. What is the most memorable 3-team trade you can think of? Because I can think of 2 off the top of my head that I think are pretty great.
I don't categorize trades like that. Did the Mookie trade involve a third team randomly?
It might have, but I'm thinking more you had the Yankees, Tigers, and Diamondbacks in a 3-team trade that sent Curtis Granderson to the Yankees, Austin Jackson to the Tigers, Max Scherzer to the Tigers, I believe that was, and then other players going to the Diamondbacks. And then there was another time where Didi Gregorius got sent to the Yankees and Shane Green got sent to the Tigers. It was those 3 same teams again. And that's what really stuck out to me. It was a 3-team.
So Ketel Marte is going to the Tigers in a deal that sends Tariq Skubal to New York?
And Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones to the Diamondbacks. See, now you're thinking. All makes sense.
It's all coming together.
Next trade I want to talk about, the Phillies made a move. The Phillies sent Matt Strahm, the lefty, to the Royals, and the Royals sent righty Jonathan Bolin to the Phillies. John, how welcoming will the city be to Jonathan Bolin?
I have no clue. Honestly. I mean, I'm not from Philly, so it's like,
how welcoming will the city of Philadelphia be to a guy who is going to pitch in the 6th inning of losing games?
Yeah, getting rid of one of the better relievers because the Phillies are known for having a great deep bullpen.
Is he one of their better relievers?
He had one good season last
year.
I
mean, Duran, Alvarado, Kerkering. I know he made that blunder in the game, but he was more consistent.
That was a fielding blunder, not a pitching.
They also, who's the other lefty that the Phillies have? It's Alvarado next year, who is meant to be in the rotation, and they have another lefty too. I think that's why they were willing to move off of Strahm. I also think this was just a move, 1,000%. Tanner Banks. That's who I'm thinking of.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Strahm was on an expiring contract, and they owed him $8 million next year, and Bowens makes less than $1 million. This was just a salary dump.
Now, what do we think they can be angling for with this salary dump? Because it's not like the Phillies are crying.
They're going to get another power outfield bat.
Realistically,
an extension for Castellanos?
No.
Realistically, I think this is money to pay JT Realmuto.
I think that makes the most sense.
I think that's the most logical step there. I think you want to dive into like Philly land of, does this free up money to pay Ketel Marte and trade for him? Does this free up just a little bit extra money we need for Amai? That would be like the high end, but I think ultimately in the reality of things, it's like, hey, get Strom's $8 million off the books, give JT the $8 million.
I think that probably works. They definitely are gonna bring back JT. It's just a matter of when, not if. And
I saw a report today on MLB Marathon which grain of salt, saying that the expectation was for him to leave now, but we'll see.
I don't know what they're doing with him because earlier in the season, he's like, I want to stay and everything wanted to get like an extension done, and they just never did it. And then
I thought he was also like their second or third best hitter in the postseason.
Yeah, He really, yeah, he was. He was like one of the only ones hitting because like Schwarber, Harper, and
You could
Turner,
argue he was their best performer in that
He-
Dodger series.
he might have been because no one else hit. I mean, like your big three guys and Harper, Schwarber, and Turner didn't do anything except that game 3, but everyone hit game 3. So I don't know, but now they don't want to seem like they want to sign him. It seems like they want to give him 2 years, but he wants 3, and they just
I also
don't
think
want
they
to
might
give
be
it to
trading
him.
Alec Bohm.
That wouldn't surprise me.
If JT does leave the Phillies, where do we think he can go? And let's not say the Dodgers because that's where we all will go with this because it makes sense.
I would love to see a right-handed veteran catcher for our team.
I would too. I think we will give him 3 years. We'll give him a year.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we do it, but I'd love us to do it. It's tough because when you think of JT, he obviously wants to play. Who is he?
Phillies are the best fit for him.
Well, he is a big part of their pitching.
I could see the
plan.
Angels. I could see the Angels being a team willing to pay.
Do we think he might take less money to stick with a contender?
What's going on?
Like, does Boston need a catcher?
Detroit, I'm thinking. Jake Rogers wasn't really that good last year.
Like Boston can't rely on Narvaez.
Boston, they have 2 catchers though, don't they?
It was Omar Narvaez, the guy from the
and Connor Wong.
And Connor Wong, and I know for a fact that Boston fans do not like Connor Wong.
I could see it. I think Detroit would be more likely. And I'd be rooting for the Yankees.
Yes. But I do think ultimately he goes back to Philly. It just makes too much sense for both sides.
I agree.
The next move we saw another trade between Tampa Bay, and this time with the Orioles. So, John, your teams make back-to-back trades. Baltimore gets righty Shane Baz. Tampa gets Slater DeBron, who was Baltimore's number 6 prospect. Caden Bodine, the O's number 10. Righty Michael Forret, the O's number 11. Outfielder Austin Overn, the Orioles' number 30 prospect. Plus, one of the rare instances you can trade picks in baseball. They also sent over to Tampa Bay the 2026 competitive round A draft pick, which is actually number 33 overall in the draft. So like the first pick of the second round almost.
Yeah. I think they overpaid Baltimore.
I think so too.
Big time.
I mean, I respect the need for pitching, and Baz at 26 fits their timeline, but he had a 4.87 ERA last year. It wasn't like he was good.
They should have traded for Cy Pepiot.
I mean, 176 strikeouts, not bad. Near the 200 mark, top 25 in baseball.
Great stuff.
And maybe they think they can unlock him to that next level. They gave up a lot of prospects, not a lot of high-end prospects. So I don't think it'll be the end of the world. And they have a pretty deep farm.
Prospects internally.
They have a lot. They have a lot though.
They have a deep farm.
Yeah.
And so many of their players are so young that it's like when are you bringing up certain players? With Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday, like when are like those spots are, if you're Baltimore, filled for the next decade. So you could afford to move some
Kobe Mayo.
I just feel like there had to have been better guys than Baz on the market you could have gotten for this price. Freddie Peralta's available.
Yeah. Tarek Skubal. You have the prospect depth.
Yeah, I felt like where do they anticipate Baz in their rotation?
I mean, how full is their rotation? I'm still confused on why they traded away Grayson Rodriguez.
Like he might be their ace currently. I mean, Eflin. So
much.
I think
they've really messed up.
Like The lineup is fantastic. Maybe this is the first of a couple moves.
They
But
got
like Boz needs to be like a 4-5, not a 1-2.
They have to bring in one of or both Scherzer and Verlander, get an actual veteran on that staff. They'll eat innings.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore's got work to do in the pitching rotation, and I guess this is the start of it. Just felt like a lot for not a major solution.
But who knows? Maybe they see something in him and they'll be able to unlock him.
Yeah, maybe.
The Mets, or the Yankees East, we should say, signed Luke Weaver, the reliever, 2 years, $22 million.
And was that to be a reliever or a starter? I just have a hard time knowing what they're doing with the Yankees sloppy seconds.
I don't know. It's very confusing because they saw the Yankees back end of Weaver and Devin Williams that forced the Yankees to trade for Doval and Bednar and Bird. And
they said, give us that.
Give us that, and let's get rid of Edwin Diaz. We don't need him. Dodgers, you can have him. We don't want him.
Yep.
We want Devin Williams and Luke Weaver.
Foolproof plan, realistically. They'll be my pick
than Diaz,
to win the World Series.
For more combined money than Diaz.
Yeah, the Mets will probably be my pick to win the World Series with how excellent their offseason has been thus far.
Now let's also address how people are saying that the Yankees are taking the Mets, retreads. But we're not getting them directly from the Mets. Amed Rosario went through a whole career after the Mets.
Oh, that doesn't count. That's a journeyman.
But they're counting it, saying, "Oh, you got him. You got Paul Blackburn."
I mean, maybe.
Mets fans are
I'm not convinced Paul Blackburn's going to make the opening day roster.
Right. So, but that's what we're going for. And they have
these
Soto,
are like Weaver and Williams.
Weaver,
I mean, I'll give them a pass on Soto. One, Soto was a Yankee for 1 year by trade. Yeah. And two, he's one Soto.
Right. Fine. But you have Weaver, Williams,
Clay Holmes. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go far back, is Harrison Bader.
Bader's another one that feels like he was ours, but wasn't ours.
But still getting him directly from the Yankees without any buffer team.
Yeah.
They've even had Dellin Betances, Gary Sanchez.
That feels more. I feel like Bader just wasn't with the Yankees long enough.
Fair. But there is a large contingent of names that went from the Yankees to the Mets, whereas you don't see many Mets to Yankees directly.
Yeah, and jokes aside, I really don't know why this would be the game plan. I have to be honest. Even if this team didn't have Edwin Diaz and this was their plan to fix their bullpen, I'd say it's a bad plan. Let alone the fact that you let a guy go who is a top 3 closer in the sport.
Yeah. And, there's 2 other names out there that makes a lot of sense for the Mets that fit in this whole thing too. The Mets don't have a first baseman. I don't care that they signed Polanco to be their first baseman. He's not a first baseman. Goldschmidt makes sense. Or Bellinger makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, not that we're claiming Paul Goldschmidt, but again, he was a Yankee last year.
And he was good.
He was good. He was fine. I don't want him back.
No, I mean, I'd rather go with the young stud, super handsome Ben Rice.
The doppelganger?
When you see handsome, you recognize it.
The next signing I want to note is the Tigers getting righty Kyle Finnegan, 2 years, 19. Just bolstering up their pitching staff.
Quality signing.
Not flashy, but definitely worthwhile noting for a team that
I think Detroit might be cooking this offseason.
Next trade I want to note, the Red Sox and the Cardinals. Wilson Contreras and Cash go to the Boston Red Sox. Contreras will play first base. And then the Cardinals get Hunter Dobbins, whose dad never played in the Yankee system and was not best friends with Andy Pettitte. Righty Yoider Fajardo and righty Blake Aida.
Yeah, I think this is smart from Boston. Casas, wasn't producing the level that they wanted. I thought that they were
a lot of injuries too, Cassis.
I thought they were in on Pete Alonso. Didn't get Pete Alonso. Baltimore got him. This is a really solid pivot option from them. Contreras as well, I think, can play catcher. I think at this point he's more of a first baseman. But, you know, I still think that they need another big move, whether that's Bregman back or Tucker or trading for Ketel Marte. But Boston now feels to me like with the Sonny Gray move, with this move, one of those signings away from actually, not the way I said it sarcastically about the Mets, but actually once again contending to be my pick to come out of the AL to win or go to the World Series.
I'm with you. I just don't know what Wilson Contreras we're getting. After he left the Cubs, he was kind of a disappointment for the Cardinals. They wanted to run him out of town. I don't know defensively if he's
hopefully a motivated one.
Sure, a motivated one. I just don't know how he'll fit. I was certain that Bregman was a great fit in Boston because of how he profiled in Fenway. If Contreras can take advantage of the Green Monster and poke some balls out towards right in the pesky pole, he's going to be really, really successful there. But he needs to get that average up. He needs to work on working counts. Boston has some great young.
He's going to be a bottom of the lineup guy, though.
He is, but
I think it's worth the risk for them.
He's got the potential to bring himself back into that lower middle part, as a 5-6 hitter, as opposed to the 8 hitter that he might profile to be right now. Like the highs that you can get out of Contreras, if you can unlock his swing in Fenway, this could be an all-time move and propel Boston to a World Series. But if he falters, you're kind of locked into playing him and having him on the roster for at least a year.
Yeah, I mean, he also played 135 games last year. I think that number matters to Boston. 257 batting average, 20 homers, 80 RBIs. But again, some of that has to do with where he was playing. But I think if you can get a 260 hitter who could hit 25 home runs, Boston would be more than happy.
Now let's talk about Japanese superstar infielder Munetaka Murakami. He goes to the greatest team coming out of the Midwest, the Chicago White Sox. The Pope foresaw it told.
What was the number again?
He signed 2 years, $34 million.
Was there just no market for this guy?
There was no market for this guy.
I think it was the fact that he wanted to start and play right away, and no team saw him as an immediate starter. And the White Sox might have been the only team willing to be like, okay, you can start for us.
Yeah, everybody wanted him to start out in AAA because his strikeout rate was so high, and that his contact rate on fastballs, high-speed fastballs, was not comparative to most major leaguers, that they thought he's so young that he could develop a year or two in the minors and then come up, while he didn't want that. He wanted to be a major leaguer from day one.
Would you rather have him be your first baseman or Jorge Polanco?
I would probably rather take my chance on the young, unproven talent than a guy that's played one game at first base his whole career.
Okay, there was a team then. And again, that was like a quick, like the Angels, they couldn't try. Maybe he likes Chicago. Maybe it's the start of something for the White Sox. And for the White Sox, good on them. Good on them for taking a shot and being like, hey, we suck anyways. You could start here and maybe we got a guy.
I mean, he's 25. When this deal's over, he'll be 27.
Yep.
And for agency in his prime. It's kind of a win-win. Chicago sells jerseys.
And if you're him, you're like, hey, in 2 years, I'm going to show why I'm worth the money.
Not only that, the White Sox broke into the Japanese market now, so that'll be easier for them in the future.
I thought about that for the Yankees a little bit, to be honest, of would it be worth playing him just to get back in that market?
I mean, since he broke onto the stage in the World Baseball Classic a couple years ago, everybody was screaming how this is the guy destined to be the Yankees' third baseman of the future. And he just never materialized himself in Japan. Prolific home run hitter, but strikeout rates
But again,
tear your hair out.
I know this is going to sound so everything that we've been trying to avoid for the Yankees, but it's not like they've been star-studded defensively there. Is it not worth the shot?
I mean, you already have a better defensive third baseman on the roster.
I know McMahon's better defensively, but offense was the problem for this team. They said that they wanted a righty bat. You're not getting one with that upside much cheaper. I don't know.
I just think the path to everyday playing wasn't as clear with the Yankees as it was with the White Sox.
No, I agree with that. And I do think, like, if he wasn't good, he was going to be benched on the Yankees. Whereas the White Sox, if he's not good, he fits right in.
And I think ultimately that's what his decision was. Put himself in the best position to make.
I don't think the Yankees ever sent an offer.
No, I mean, we see reports that the Yankees aren't even engaging in EMI.
Well, I've seen so many mixed reports there. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Moving on to the last trade we have, though, the Mets made a move. The Sacramento A's get outfielder Jeff.
The Las Vegas A's.
Are they playing there yet?
No, but that's why they got McNeil. That's where he's from.
Oh, you know who else is from Las Vegas? Bryce Harper. John, you ready to send him away?
Mm-hmm. Isn't Bryson Stott from Nevada too? He's from around there.
John is ready to send him away.
He's one of my favorite players on the Phillies, but they just don't use him how I would like them to use him.
John's trying to send him to the deserts of Arizona.
That's where he's from, I think, Nevada, right?
You're trying to send him to Arizona for Ketel Marte.
So the Mets traded away Jeff McNeil. They got back a minor leaguer in Yordan Rodriguez. This is the clearest just get off my team trade I think we can ever find.
Yeah.
They didn't want him. The players didn't want him.
I don't blame them either. His play has started to dip. You have Simeon, you have Polanco. He was never going to get to play. He's eating money. See you later.
These are the Mets, Nick Castellanos.
Nick Castellanos is he's a much better player, means much more to that team than
the way they treat Nick Castellanos, you wouldn't think so.
The Phillies need to figure out what they want to do with their players. Because Castellanos was good, did good, and he's not that big of a detriment to the Phillies.
He's gone.
They're going to get rid of him. I think they're begging people to trade for him.
Welcome back to Cincinnati, pal.
Detroit?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pirates are going to trade.
Castellanos isn't going to a real team like the Tigers. No. They're sending him to the gulag.
The Pirates are going to trade for him and be like, look, we got
Pirates,
we got
Reds,
Castellanos.
A's, Angels, gulag.
Yankees.
No.
Gulag.
Not the Yankees.
But let's talk now about the Hall of Fame. We went through everything going on with the current players up to date. Now we have the Hall of Fame. Getting towards the end of the year, I kind of want to give a recap of what's going on. We're not going to know the results until towards the end of January. But as things stand right now, I'm going to go player by player on the ballot, go over last year's results, where they are now, how they're polling right now with 44 ballots of the expected 428. That's about 10.7% of the vote in right now. So a lot of things can change. But right now, let's start. Bobby Abreu in his 7th year on the ballot. He had 19.5% of the vote last year. Right now, he's at 41.3%. Could you guys ever see yourself voting, hypothetically, for Bobby Abreu in the future or now?
No.
I'm also at a no. Even though in the past I've kind of grown away from thinking Abreu's a Hall of Famer. Now we have Carlos Beltran in his fourth year, 70.3% last year. You need 75 to get in. 78.3 right now. I can definitely see myself voting Beltran.
Oh yeah.
I think he got punished a little bit for the Astros cheating scandal. But at some point, you got to put a Hall of Famer in if they're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and Beltran is one of the better players, kind of our era of growing up with baseball. Beltran's the guy that kind of I remember being one of the best over the 400 home run club, switch hitter, play the outfield. Guy was a beast.
Next up, we have Ryan Braun in his first year on the ballot. He's right now polling at 8.7%. You need 5% to stay on the ballot the next season.
I think he might stay on. I wouldn't vote for him. Hell of a prime, though. In his prime, you could have argued best hitter in baseball.
Was that before or after the juice?
During. I mean, that's the problem. But, again, like when you were watching at the time, he was gross. But it was a prime that's very steroid tainted. That's the kind of person with steroids that I am completely fine saying you never get in.
Yeah, I think he should be the sacrificial lamb that lets everybody else in.
Yeah, I agree.
Now we got Mark Burley in his sixth season on the ballot, 11.4% last year. He's polling at 28.3%. And he's very confusing because he keeps going up year to year, and I just don't see it.
Me neither.
John, what do you I mean, he was great, but was he Hall of Fame great?
Well, let me see.
Career
I don't think
3.81 ERA, under 2,000 career strikeouts, 214 and 160. Maybe Hall of Every Good.
And I think we're going to get a lot of that. Like the next man up is Shin-Soo Choo in his first year on the ballot.
And his last year on
zero
the ballot.
Does he get one singular vote?
No.
I think he'll get one.
Why?
Because I'm sure he was nice to some reporter back in his Reds days. And he was like, yeah, I'll throw him on my ballot for it.
All right.
Next up, Edwin Encarnacion in his first year. He's at 2.2% of the vote right now.
I think he'll be hovering around the 5. Not a Hall of Famer to me, but
I think he falls off pretty easily. Now we got Gio Gonzalez, also at 0% in his first year.
I remember there was a hot minute where I thought Gio Gonzalez was like the next best thing coming in baseball. And then
what happened?
nothing.
Watched him pitch?
Yeah, nothing. Then we all woke up.
Alex Gordon in his first year, 0% of the vote.
Not a Hall of Famer, but a Hall of that guy's a ball player.
Honestly, that's a Royals Hall of Fame. Put him in the Royals Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there you go.
How about Cole Hamels in his first season? He's at 30.4% of the vote. Could you see yourself at any point voting?
I'm biased because he's my favorite player of all time. So
well,
I'm gonna. So
I'll keep it as nice as possible when I say no.
See, I can see myself at some point voting Cole Hamels. Also, kind of because I feel like there's going to be a rough patch of pitchers going into the Hall, especially the post-steroid era pitchers, that I think they're going to be underrepresented, a whole generation's worth of pitchers.
Yeah, I think he's close. So maybe one day I can see myself voting for him. It wouldn't be today.
Could you one day see yourself voting for him?
I mean, if I'm not going to vote for him today, I'm not going to say, "Oh yeah, I definitely want to vote for him tomorrow."
No, but if you can see, if you can see yourself possibly being convinced, you don't have to vote for him now, but if there's a chance,
there's a chance,
and that's all we're asking. Next up, Felix Hernandez in his second season, He had 20.6% of the vote last year. He's at 56.5 right now.
His career numbers are actually very similar to Cole Hamels.
I
But-
view him identically to Hamels.
My remembrance of Felix is of him at his peak, and he was so good.
So
that
was Cole Hamels.
yeah, but he
At his
wasn't King. He wasn't King Felix.
I mean, the Yankees wanted to trade Judge and Gary Sanchez for Cole Hamels.
Yeah, well, the Yankees are stupid, so that doesn't surprise me. I will say yes, Felix. There could be a day. Yeah.
John, you?
Yeah.
How about Torrey Hunter in his sixth year on the ballot? 5.1% last year, 2.2 right now. He's been hovering around that 5 for literally half a decade.
Hall of very good.
Hall of really good.
Yeah.
Like whatever
But not
that
Hall of
tier,
Fame.
that tier or two below the Hall of Fame. Andrew Jones in his 9th season, he had 66.2% of the vote last year. He's at 78.3% this year. Now, I remember him having a awesome postseason in 2012 for the Yankees. Him and Raul Ibanez.
I saw Andrew Jones hit a home run in my first ever Yankees game.
That's sick.
So
Does that mean he's on your Hall of Fame ballot?
are we doing that part right now, or are we
or
just doing
if you could vote for him?
I could see myself one day voting for him.
Well, it's either this year or next year or never ever.
I could see it one day.
John, how about you?
Yeah. Definitely can.
Now we got a couple guys on their first year on the ballot. We got Matt Kemp, 0% of the vote right now.
Nope.
How about Howie Kendrick with also 0?
Nope.
No.
Nick Markakis with 0?
Nope.
Nope.
What about Daniel Murphy? Come on, he's got 0 right now.
Yeah, it's just gonna stay at 0.
Yeah.
Now we got Dustin Pedroia in his second year on the ballot, 11.9% last year, 26.1% now. This is a case.
Struggled with injuries so much. But
Yeah.
Hall of Ball player, but I don't think Hall of Famer.
I think there's a world where I could end up voting for Pedroia. He was a Yankee killer. Gotta respect the postseason ability. Like just what I remember from watching him play was he was a all-time great second baseman of a generation. Maybe not the greatest, but he was among the best.
He was an all-time great talent.
Yes, the injuries killed him.
Yep.
Now we got Hunter Pence in his first year. He's at 2.2% of the vote.
Nope.
All a very fun player.
Mhm.
Nope.
He goes in the Nick Swisher Hall.
Sure.
Now we got Andy Pettit in his 8th season on the ballot. 27.9% last year, 52.2% now. He's another guy with steroid connection.
Another guy as well with similar career numbers to both Cole Hamels and Felix Hernandez.
But he's got the postseason success that they don't have.
Yeah. Obviously, I could see myself voting for Andy.
What about you, John?
That's maybe. Yeah.
Now, I hope you're sitting down for this one. Cy Young winner, Rick Porcello in his first season, 0% of the vote.
That's where it'll stay.
I wonder if there's been a guy that's won a Cy Young and ended up getting 0 votes for the Hall of Fame. I feel like that means you win a Cy Young, you should get a vote.
Sure.
You should get something a little bit. I don't know.
I'm not against him getting a vote.
Just it's not a vote from you.
4.4 ERA.
Nope, not a vote from me.
That was such a weird year when he won the Cy Young. Like, was he even the best pitcher on his team in Boston?
I don't know.
Now you got Manny Ramirez in his 10th and final year on the ballot. 34.3% of the vote last year. He's polling in at about 39.1. Steroid guy, allegedly.
To me, this would be an easy yes. 555 career homers, .312 career batting average, 1,800 RBIs, one of the greatest hitters ever, part of one of, as much as it pains me to say, the greatest baseball stories ever. You
Yeah,
can't
Manny and the
tell.
Dodgers is one of the best stories.
You can't tell the history of baseball without talking about that Red Sox team. And Manny Ramirez was one of the best players on that team. So to me, you can't tell the story of baseball without Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, I think Manny's definitely somebody that deserves more love and more credit than he's been given due.
Yeah.
You know, it also gets me thinking about a team like the White Sox. Somebody like Manny falling off the ballot. I'm sure Manny can still hit. Why not let Manny DH for you guys? Let him reset his Hall of Fame candidacy. See if he still got it. You know, be a sideshow if you're not going to be good.
Yeah.
Be fun if you're not going to be a good baseball team. You know, let A-Rod get to 700 home runs.
He said he could have stayed though, and he didn't. He said it didn't matter to him if they weren't in a Yankee uniform.
Sure, buddy. Now, A-Rod, though, is the next guy on the list in his fifth season on the ballot. 37.1% next year, 45% overall right now, or 45.7, I should say.
I mean, same deal.
Yeah.
You can't tell the story of baseball without A-Rod. Dominated, starting in the late 90s, all throughout the 2000s, a little bit into the 2010s, 4 home runs shy of 700, over 2,000 RBIs, over 3,000 hits, 295 career batting average. It's just, in his prime, was an excellent fielder.
Now, steroids don't make you hit the ball any better. They just help your recovery time in the gym, make you a little stronger. They turn warning track to homers maybe, but they don't make you hit the ball any better.
Yeah, I mean, A-Rod's just, again, one of the best players to ever play baseball. So, obviously, we've kind of gone around in circles with some of these steroid era guys, but that's how I feel.
He's the last one on the steroid list this year. Next one up is Francisco Rodriguez, K-Rod, in his fourth year, 10.2% of the vote last year, 15.2% right now. One of the best closers of our, youthful generation.
Yeah, all very good.
How about this one, John? You're going to perk up. Jimmy Rollins in his fifth year, 18% last year, 26.1%, and a one undeserved MVP.
Undeserved?
I wanted to make sure you're listening.
I'm listening. I mean, I've had him. I think every year we've done this, I voted for. I've had Jimmy Rollins on my ballot.
Why do you think he's not getting as much love? Again, only 18% of the vote last year.
I mean, I think it's going up every year a little bit, not as much as probably the person we're going to talk about next, the other Philly on the ballot. I think it's probably just because like the home runs are kind of low and the average there is too. I would assume. But he was a very, very good fielder, very solid. I mean, MVP. Like I think few Golden Gloves, All-Star, like 4 Golden Gloves. Like I mean, I feel like he has the pedigree, in my opinion.
Well, let's then connect it. Now you have Chase Utley in his third season, 39.8% last year. He's at 63 now. What about if we connect both of them? And Dylan, I want your thoughts on both those guys as well. Do we think that they have a shot to get in this year or next year?
A shot? Yes.
But will they, if you had to give a prediction?
No.
I think Utley more than Rollins.
I don't think either.
I think Utley has he's up there with the WAR with like some of the second basemen already in the Hall of Fame. Like he's like 25th or 26th in WAR of like second baseman all time or something.
I think if either of them were to get in, it would be Chase Utley.
Yeah.
But I lean neither.
Now you have Omar Vizquel, who was on a surefire track to get into the Hall of Fame early in his candidacy. He took a big dip due to some off-field things that came out about him. In his 9th year on the ballot, 17.8% last year. He's at 21.7 right now.
See you later, buddy.
He should be in. This is another guy I look for every year. He should be in. I don't look at a baseball card and see, oh, he did so and so off the field.
No,
Like,
I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna say
we're
what he
literally
did, but
advocating
always
for.
Google it because
I know,
what he
but
did
you're
was
literally
kind of heinous.
advocating for guys who use steroids and stuff that, you know, they're in the game, like actually in the game of baseball that impacted stuff. And like, oh, he does some off the field stuff. It's just like it's about the game.
I just think that my opinion is that the morality clause that they have, it should be used if you're a borderline player, not somebody who should just be in based off stats alone. And Vizquel is a guy that was borderline, could go either way, and that's where I would use it against him.
See you later, buddy.
Borderline, one of the best defensive.
He played 20 years, and what was his WAR? 24 years he played.
11-time Gold Glove Award winner at shortstop.
And what are his offensive stats? How many hits did he have in 20-something seasons?
What, 2,877?
In 20-something seasons?
You're a defense, like defense is part of baseball too.
It is. I just think he was such a poor hitter that the defense doesn't save him, and then the off-field stuff knocks him down another level.
11 Gold Gloves.
That's
And
great.
0 Hall of Fame rings.
Let's go to the last guy though on the ballot before we reveal what we would vote. 3rd season for David Wright, 8.1% last year, 17.4% right now. He's kind of this generation's Don Mattingly in a way.
Welcome to the Mets Hall of Fame, buddy.
All right. So, John, you want to reveal yours first? What your ballot would be? You can name up to 10 players, but you don't have to name any.
Oh, yeah. Me.
John
Second.
goes, no, buddy. They're all worthless.
All worthless.
No. There's 2 Phillies and Vizquel, so there's at least 3.
Yeah.
And Bobby Abreu was a Philly too.
That's true. But I wasn't really into baseball when he was on the Phillies. I'm kind of too young. He was like right before. But I would say
him as a Yankee, Abreu.
So,
Remember him as an angel.
But I would say Andrew Jones, Carlos Beltran, Chase Utley, Cole Hamels, Felix Hernandez, Jimmy Rollins, and Omar Vizquel.
7 players on your ballot, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So let me just reiterate that. You have
Every
Beltran,
Philly.
Every Philly, except Bobby Abreu.
Beltran, Hamels, Felix, Jones, Vizquel, Utley, Rollins.
He had 7 guys, so if you're at 7, you got them all.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
All
you
right,
go.
Dylan.
Then to be fair, I have like the past 3 or 4 years we've done this. I have had I think since Jimmy was on and Chase Utley, I've had on all the time. And I have to say Cole Hamels, like I said, favorite baseball player all time.
I'll now present the correct Hall of Fame ballot. This is what every writer should also be submitting. Carlos Beltran, yes. Andrew Jones, yes. Andy Pettitte, yes. Manny Ramirez, yes. Alex Rodriguez, yes.
And that's it.
That's it.
So before I reveal my ballot, let's say we were to elect between the 3 of us. Do they need 2 out of the 3 to be in? 66%?
Sure.
2/3?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going Carlos Beltran.
So he was unanimous between the 3 of us.
Yes. I would also go Cole Hamels. I would also go King Felix. And I'll explain my thinking with those 2.
I mean, listen, if you got one, you should have the other. And you both did, and I had neither.
And I think just for me, balloting is strategic. I don't want to see them fall off. I want to keep the discussion on them going. I think they were both two of the best pitchers of a generation.
I just don't.
to
Cole
the
Hamels
story.
as a first ballot Hall of Famer
No,
feels.
no, you don't have to be first
All
ballot.
is just to keep him
You need the
on the
votes to
ballot,
some point.
kind of thing.
We got Manny Ramirez about to fall off.
Well, you have my next one will be Andrew Jones, so he gets all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going Dustin Pedroia because I'm thinking that a higher peak of a shorter career should deserve some love.
I
Especially,
time to hear Ryan Braun's name.
all right, let's not. I'm going Andy Pettit,
Nice,
Manny Ramirez,
nice,
A-Rod.
nice.
I then will go K-Rod because closers have been so undervalued in the Hall of Fame because it wasn't really a stable position until recently. That guys like K-Rod, Kenley Jansen, Kimbrel, they are guys that deserve a look outside of a normal pitcher. And outside of Mariano Rivera, who's the greatest of all time, you have such a wide range between the best second baseman and the worst second baseman in the Hall. And you just don't have that in relievers. And I think K-Rod, high amount of saves. I think he set the single season save record at one point. I think he's somebody that deserves a serious consideration and discussion about him. Then I'm also going to go my final one, David Wright, for the same reason I went Pedroia. I think the heights in his short career deserve a lot more merit than they're getting, because I would also say the same thing for Don Mattingly. I can understand why somebody wouldn't.
If I'm John, I'm livid that you're including David Wright and not Utley or Rollins. I mean, I left off all three because I think they're all Hall of Very Good, but there is nothing about David Wright that separates him from those guys. If anything, Utley should be higher than
David Wright over Rollins and Utley to start a franchise back in 2006 with. No. Like, Wright was the guy I would have chosen over both of them.
I just don't agree with your guys' stuff with the steroid stuff. Because if you're going to put these guys in and not have Barry Bonds,
well, we would have also voted for Barry
Bonds. But I mean, I'm just saying, if he's not in there, I just feel like
David Ortiz is in there.
Just because we got something wrong in the past doesn't mean we need to get it wrong forever.
Like David Ortiz, Ivan Rodriguez, Bud Selig, Mike Piazza, all guys connected to steroids in some way, are all in the Hall of Fame as it is. I would have voted for Bonds, and I would have voted for Clemens and Sheffield and Sosa and McGuire. So I feel like I can vote for Manny and A-Rod because I have the same conviction behind them that I do with the others.
Yeah. I mean, A-Rod has to get him.
So between the three of us, the 2026 Hall of Fame class, Carlos Beltran, Cole Hamels, Felix Hernandez, Andrew Jones, Andy Pettit, Manny Ramirez, A-Rod, and that's it.
I mean, my five guys are all there. So I'm happy.
I also went 10 deep to keep guys on the ballot, quote unquote, with strategic picks. Not that I think Cole Hamels should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that he deserves the discussion around him. But as it stands, that'll do it for us. Maybe the Yankees will make a move by next week.
I mean, some moves bound to happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to happen every time.
We're going to record a special thing on Christmas Eve.
Tatsu Yamai has signed.
Pirates really coming strong. Beans, we got you another one. All right, guys. That'll do it. Dylan Mel, John Pauline, Corey Jason. This has been the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast, signing off.